So welcome to this video tutorial, which is just on how to complete basic news posts, or blog posts as they're sometimes referred to in WordPress. So we call them news because on the NZAP website here they're under the news tab, and the first thing to notice is just that I'm logged in. So you have to be logged in to complete this function, and because I'm logged in I've got the options in the top bar here that you will now be becoming familiar with. So if we scroll across we can see new, and so what we want to do is do a new post. So news items are considered posts, blog posts within WordPress. So we can simply click on new post and we get to this window, which looks exactly like the page for creating a new page that we've seen before, except it says add new post, and what it will open up is this side panel here for posts where we can view all the previous news posts. So if we go to all posts, you can see here that we have all of the previous news posts here organized by date and author, and then of course some of these scroll back into ones that were brought across from the old site, so they don't have some of those tags. And you'll see we've still got this one here which is now a draft and is not currently live. So to go in we can just click edit, and that takes us back to our new post. So we're going to want to create a post based on the subscription invoice. We've been asked to add the subscription invoice to the newsfeed. So I've just got that here as a Word document. So we can select all, so select all of the text there and copy, which I tend to do via the shortcuts, but of course you can do via the top menu. Copy being in a Mac Command C or Control C. And with WordPress it is as simple as just being able to Control V or paste. Now with WordPress you do need to use the shortcuts to drop these things in. You'll notice the items don't appear there on the top bar. So what we want to do is just Control V to paste that in. Now what I generally find is that the formatting is fine, but often you end up with a few more spaces than is desirable, and I'll show you what I mean. So just as with the posts, we can go to preview, and that will show us how our post is looking now that we've dropped that information in. So you can see there it's a bit too spaced out. So what we want to do is just drop some of these spaces out. Just use the delete key to drop those out. Just get that formatting set up right. And we can just collapse some of this down. And you can see that this is just as easy as just editing a Word document. There's nothing complicated here to what I'm doing. I'm just using the delete and enter keys to make it look different, to change the way in which it's spaced out. Okay, so it's a good idea to save the draft when you're working through things. It means that any changes are saved, and let's just preview that. Yep, so that looks a little bit better the way that's laid out. Okay, so now we just need to finish this off. The first thing we need to do is create a title. So let's make it invoice for annual subscription 2014-15. Again, we can just Control C, Control V, copy that in. Last thing to do before we make this live is just to select a category. Always need to select the news category to make sure that that's displaying properly in the news feed, and then we can publish. Now publishing is not a one-way street. If we discover that once we've published it we don't like how it looks, that's fine. We can go and have a look, and you'll notice we can make any changes. You'll notice that the URL in WordPress automatically defaults to nzap.org.nz / the title. So that's just something to be mindful of when you're creating titles, is you don't want to make them massively long, because what that will create is slightly unwieldy URLs. So let's go to the view post. Okay, and you can see that this post is now live on the site, and we've now got a news post, invoice for annual subscription 2014-15. And if we go to the news page, there it is. And if we go to the home page, there we go, showing up in the latest news feed. And if we go back, just to show you here, latest news feed, there it is. So it drops into all the appropriate places, and it's as easy as just being able to drop, cut and paste. If we need to write the post, obviously you can just type the post into that as needs be. Otherwise, cutting and pasting from Word works perfectly fine. Okay, so that's as easy as that. If we need to go back and edit anything, obviously we can just click on the edit, and that will take us straight back to that news post. There it is. Okay, hopefully that's helpful for setting up new news posts on the site.